The president is going to talk about our successes in Nigeria and then the challenges we also have.
President Buhari in New York set to address the United Nations General Assembly for the 5th time.
We're here to strategize on how we would ensure that the enforcement is set aside.
Attorney General and Minister of Justice leads powerful delegation to London, seeks a stay of execution on the $9 billion UK judgment.
I believe it's important that security is one of the major concerns of this government. And we have an obligation to arrest the situation wherever and whenever we can.
House of Representatives partners security chiefs to curb security breaches in the Northeast. Little El-Rufai goes to public primary school. Good evening and welcome to NTA Network News. I am Muhammad Kudu Abubakar, reaching you from Abuja. Michael Olale joins me from Lagos. Sadia Umar Digi is going to join us from Sokoto, while Ogochukuka Ona will be from Benin. President Muhammadu Buhari, Monday in New York, paid a courtesy call on President of the 74th United Nations General Assembly, Professor Tijani Muhammad Bande, telling him that he bears a heavy weight on his shoulders and that Nigeria is solidly behind him in the onerous task. A statement by the Presidential Advisor on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, says President Buhari congratulates Professor Bande on a well-deserved job at the global stage. The 74th United Nations General Assembly President, Professor Tijani Umar Bande, described his nomination as the greatest honor and the support from Africa and the world as outstanding. First Lady of Nigeria and Global Tuberculosis Ambassador Dr. Aisha Buhari has called for more funding to fast-track efforts to end tuberculosis. She made the call during the UN high-level meeting on tuberculosis at the UN headquarters, New York. A statement by Suleiman Haruna, Director of Information to the First Lady, says the First Lady challenged leaders to increase political commitment and be accountable to their promises of increasing resources and supporting effective and sustainable partnerships to end tuberculosis. Mrs. Buhari made reference to the last meeting of the African First Ladies during the last African Union General Assembly in Addis Ababa, where she made it clear that tuberculosis should be integrated in the fight against HIV and AIDS, as that will harmonize plans and actions in relation to the two related killer diseases. In the meantime, the 74th session of the United Nations General Assembly opens on Tuesday. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that President Buhari will be addressing the Global Forum for the 5th time since coming to power in 2015.
Accompanied by the governors of Nasarawa and Osun states, President Muhammadu Buhari arrived JFK International Airport, New York at about 7:30 Sunday evening local time. On hand to receive him were the Deputy Permanent Representatives to the United Nations, Nigeria's ambassador to the United States, Ministers of Foreign Affairs, Environment and Health, as well as other senior government officials. President Buhari is expected to join other world leaders at this year's General Assembly on Tuesday to be presided over for the first time in 30 years by Nigeria's Muhammad Tijani Bande. Under the theme, Galvanizing Multilateral Efforts for Poverty Eradication, Quality Education, Climate Action and Inclusion, the Nigerian leader is scheduled to take the floor as the 5th speaker to deliver Nigeria's national statement.
It's like it's Nigeria's day in the sun because you don't have it better than that. The Deputy Secretary General, President of the General Assembly, and then you are President of that country. It's like all focus will be on Nigeria. It's a good one for our country.
So given that sense of honor, what will you be telling the global audience?
Well, the President is going to talk about our successes in Nigeria and then the challenges we also have. The successes will include things like the social investment program, the war against insurgency, the war against corruption, and then it's going to invite the world to also help in the areas that we have challenges. Particularly the war against insurgency is not won fully. We have recorded a lot of successes, but then we still need help. And of course, in rehabilitating people who are displaced, Nigeria still needs a lot of help. And then on global issues, is going to express Nigeria's opinion, Nigeria's position on some global issues.
While in New York, President Muhammadu Buhari and members of his delegation are expected to participate in various high-level engagements on critical economic sectors, including climate change, health, SDGs, and the elimination of nuclear weapons. Several bilateral discussions are also to be held with some world leaders and key players in global economy. From New York, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
A high-powered federal government delegation has begun consultations in the United Kingdom on how to obtain a stay of execution on the court ruling on the $9.6 billion award against Nigeria in the Process and Industry Development Limited project awarded in 2010. The federal government is also exploring the possibility of setting aside the ruling. Anthony Fosun reports.
9 Nigeria House is the country's High Commission located on Northumberland Avenue, Westminster, London. It is the meeting point. Nigeria's Attorney General and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed, Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele, Inspector General of Police Mohammed Adamu, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission Chairman Ibrahim Magu, top government officials from Nigeria, Nigeria's legal team and media consultants, all assembled with relevant documents and information. Discussions got underway. At a meeting that lasted nearly 3 hours, Lai Mohammed spoke to NTA News.
We're here to strategize on how we would ensure that the enforcement is set aside and we get leave to appeal the case. While we're here, we also intend to change narrative by visiting the major media houses, financial institutions, to let them know the true narrative about this P&ID contract and the fact that it's more than it's been falsely circulated by the P&ID people. We are here strategizing both on the legal and on the PR aspect of the case.
It is now clear that Nigeria is ready to set the record straight, just as to help put the narratives in clear perspective. From London, Anthony Fosun, NTA News.
As Nigeria begins the process of rejecting the $9.6 billion arbitral award against the country over a fraudulent contract with the Process and Industrial Limited, P&ID, this week, the Buhari Media Organization, BMO, has urged Nigerians to trust in the ability of the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration to stave off the largest financial liability in Nigeria's history. A statement by its chairman, Niyi Akinsiju, notes that the court processes that unfolded in Abuja on Thursday and Friday last week are bound to go a long way in proving Nigeria's case when the matter comes up in the United Kingdom on September the 26th. The Buhari Media Organization also urged the EFCC not to relent in its efforts to ensure that all government officials serving or retired involved in the controversial deal are made to face the wrath of the law in such a way that a clear signal will be sent to others who may be nursing such an idea. Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Ibrahim Tanko Mohammed, says the challenges confronting the Nigerian judiciary in the last few years calls for strengthening of the nation's judiciary. He stated this at the commencement of the 2019-2020 new legal year of the Supreme Court. Judiciary correspondent Femi Okeo now reports.
The 2018-2019 legal year will go down into history as one of the most eventful years in Nigeria's judiciary. But then, 2019-2020 has already started also on a very active note, with 38 new senior advocates of Nigeria sworn in, the highest in the annals of this rank in Nigeria. For the Chief Justice of Nigeria, even though he thinks the judiciary is independent enough, particularly in the way it handles its judgments and other judicial functions, going cap in hand for funds makes the independence ineffective.
If there are no credible machineries to enforce the law and resolve disputes, people instantly resort to illegal means. We must therefore appreciate the obvious act that justice is a handmaiden of a true peace.
38 new senior advocates of Nigeria were sworn in. They include two women, Mrs. Adedoyin Rotsviver and Sefia Umar Badamasi, the first woman in the north and of the Hausa Fulani extraction to become a senior advocate of Nigeria.
As you can see, I'm very happy. I'm with my governor, my AG, so I'm very happy.
We are producing the first senior advocate, like we did in many fields. Okay. So this is a testimony of what a Katsina person can do.
Other notable names are the present Solicitor General of the Federation, Dayo Akpata, the first to be so elevated in that office. Daniel Ewelom, a Kaduna-based practitioner, Usman Ogusule, based in Abuja, and Al-Hassan KJ Umar, an INEC counsel. This ceremony seems to have brought out the new challenges that are confronting the legal profession in Nigeria, particularly as they usher in the 2019-2020 legal year. From the Supreme Court, Femi Okeowo, NTA News.
Work at the Lagos-Ibadan Railway project has reached advanced stage as confirmed by officials of the transportation sector. Oyinaya Kaluoka was on the entourage of the transportation minister who inspected the progress of work.
Gliding through 10 stations in Lagos, Abeokuta in Ogun State, to Ibadan in Oyo State, the 156-kilometer Lagos-Ibadan standard gauge railway project, when completed, is expected to be one of the economically viable segments in Nigeria. The monthly routine inspection by the Minister of Transportation, Chibike Rotimi Amechi, accompanied by the Minister of State, Gbemisola Saraki, was at the various sites to ascertain the level of development. At the mega train station at Ebute Meta, Lagos, contractors were directed to hasten its completion.
The focus was on track. Now they finish the tracks. So what next? They're not. I don't think the speed is. Even them today, they acknowledge that the speed has slowed down. So what we're here to do is to put back fire.
For me, this is my first time experiencing this. It's a big project. It's going to be a successful project.
Extending the rail project to Apapa Seaport is of top priority as government works towards tackling the gridlock. The minister inspected some projects to be demolished at the terminal.
Today we're able to go right into the Apapa port. Previously it would have been very difficult.
What is remaining of the pipes is being resolved. It's being resolved, and I can tell you that by the end of the month, first week in October, we'll be out of it.
Starting November, December, when the coaches come in, we start our normal, what we call trial runs, that we run for some time free of charge, carrying people to Ibadan, so that we can get our timing right.
The Lagos-Ibadan Railway project has provided hundreds of direct and indirect jobs and expected to provide more when completed. Oyinaya Kaluoka, NTA News.
Nigeria's 59th Independence Day celebrations will be centered on unlocking the creative talents of Nigerian youths through a National Youth Entrepreneurship Empowerment Summit that will drive the celebrations. Permanent Secretary, Political and Economic Affairs, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Gabriel Aduda, who stood in for the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, at a media briefing heralding the celebrations, said the Buhari administration is championing a paradigm shift of marking the nation's independence anniversary in favor of the youths. Metari Ikben reports.
Any nation that ignores its youthful population does so at great risk of eroding the future. It is in recognition of the need to productively engage the youth as well as consolidate on the economic and social initiatives of the last 4 years that the Buhari administration has anchored Nigeria's 59th independence anniversary on the second edition of the National Youth Entrepreneurship Empowerment Summit. The event will hold on the eve of this year's anniversary with focus on the creative arts.
During the summit, we will have plenary sessions that will be led by people that have excelled in the creative arts. On that same day, we're going to be giving out grants. 10 people from the creative arts will walk home with 1 million naira each, while also later that night on Monday, we will have the Republic concert. This is a youth concert, and we're also going to run into the countdown and then the fireworks until the 1st of October at the Millennium Park.
The Independence celebration activities will begin from Tuesday, 24th September 2019 with a 2-day exhibition, followed by special Juma prayers and interdenominational Christian service on 27th and 29th September, as well as Independence Day broadcast by Mr. President and the presidential change of guards. The theme for Nigeria's 59th independence anniversary celebration is peaceful coexistence for national growth and development. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
Time now for some messages. I will be back shortly.
The 59th Independence Day Celebration Planning Committee announces activities lined up for the celebration as follows. Friday, 27th September, Jumat prayers and special lecture. Time 10 a.m. Venue, National Mosque, Abuja. Sunday, 29th September, Interdenominational Christian Service. Time 3 p.m. National Christian Center. Monday, 30th September, National Youth Entrepreneurship Empowerment Summit, Independence Edition. Time 9 a.m. Venue, International Conference Center. The Republic 2, Independence Edition. Youth Concert. Time 6 p.m. Venue, Millennium Park. Tuesday, 1st October, Independence Media Broadcast. Time 7 a.m. Venue, State House. Presidential Change of Guards. Time 9 a.m. Venue, State House Forecourt. Public lecture and gala night. Time 6 p.m. Venue, State House Conference Center. All public officers are expected to actively participate in the anniversary celebration as appropriate. Boss Mustafa, Chairman, 59th Independence Day Celebration Planning Committee and Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Announcer.
The general public is hereby notified that the National Judicial Council will be conducting a verification and biometric data capturing exercise for its pensioners in the 6 geopolitical zones to update its records. The affected officers and staff are all federal judicial officers, all retired state judiciary staff with federal government share of pension, retired judicial staff that worked in the judiciary of the federal government of the First Republic, the regional government, and the states created in 1976, whose pension has been transferred from the office of the head of service of the Federation to the National Judicial Council. The exercise is scheduled to hold from the 23rd of September to the 1st of November 2019 at the State High Court complex of each state. Please note that retired judicial staff whose names are not on the payroll of the National Judicial Council are not affected by this exercise. All judicial officers and staff that were not captured in the last exercise should come along with their bank verification numbers and 2 recent passport size photographs. See National Dailies for details. Sign Management, National Judicial Council.
From the creeks of the Niger Delta to the Atlantic Ocean, inland waters and beyond, activities of some unpatriotic Nigerians and criminals are, however, harming Nigeria and Nigerians. Say no to crude oil theft, pipeline vandalism, and illegal oil refineries. These criminal acts destroy the environment, kill maritime life, destroy the livelihood of farmers, fishermen, and reduce Nigeria's economy by billions of naira. Nigerian Navy patrols are working round the clock to secure Nigeria's maritime integrity.
Support the Navy and say no to acts that destroy our collective resources.
Stop these criminal acts. Blow the whistle. The long arm of the law will surely catch up with culprits. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Navy.
Onward together.
What's inside this beautiful house? Inside, there is a very beautiful family. And in this family, there is a lot of love. And inside this love, there's Alpenliebe. And in the center of Alpenliebe, there is a feeling made with rich milk and creamy caramel. Alpenliebe, the milk-filled candy that warms your heart with love. Alpenliebe, bring hearts closer. Now also available in stick pack.
exciting new Indomitables game on Google Play Store. Search the Indomitables on Play Store and download now. Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
Welcome to Adeleke University, a faith-based learning institution located in the serene and historic town of Ede, Osun State, Nigeria, running on the well-thought vision of its founding fathers to improve lives and society. The institution offers affordable and quality education. We are currently offering admission into our faculties of science, engineering, law, and art. We are also offering entry into the Faculty of Basic Medical Sciences and the Faculty of Business and Social Science. Our College of Postgraduate Studies offers you the chance to earn your master's and doctorate's degree in over 30 disciplines. For more inquiries, please visit www.adelikeuniversity.edu.ng. You can also call 0806-820-2021. Adeleke University. Education, excellence, character.
Imagine a luxury peak breakfast on top of the world in Dubai.
To Dubai.
Collins!
I hope you bought enough peak milk. Dubai, here we come!
To be one of the 20 lucky people going to enjoy a peak breakfast in Dubai, buy peak milk and collect your scratch card to redeem your instant win. Fill your details and return. Everyone's a winner. So keep on buying your peak milk and keep winning. Valid while stocks last. Reach for your peak.
Hello. Hi, Jenny. Can you supply 1,000 bottles of juice by noon?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye.
Hello? Jenny. Auntie, please, I need a loan. Hurry up! Hello?
The number cannot be reached.
Clean that up! Clean that up! The order is on the way.
Are you an entrepreneur looking for financing to grow your business? Here's good news. Development Bank of Nigeria now provides sustainable financing through commercial banks, microfinance banks, and other financial institutions with repayment terms of up to 10 years. Please do remember, paying back your loan in good time will give you access to more loans.
Development Bank of Nigeria. Financing sustainable growth.
Thank you for remaining with the NTA. When I take you back to New York, where Nigeria has announced a more robust plan of action and critical pathways towards confronting climate change, as well as reversing its consequences on the nation's socio-economic aspirations. President Muhammadu Buhari, who stated this while addressing the United Nations Climate Action Summit in New York, said the country is committed to achieving a resilient future. SEDA's correspondent Adam Musambo reports.
Climate change, without doubt, is a defining issue of the present time, and this summit convened by the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres is the crucial moment for political and business leaders as well as the civil society to shift global response into higher gear. The Climate Action Summit is indeed an opportunity towards boosting ambitions and accelerating actions towards ensuring that the Paris Agreement on climate change is fully implemented for the benefit of humanity.
President Muhammadu Buhari told participants that he could not agree more that the world is now on the verge of climate catastrophe.
We will take concrete steps to harness climate innovative ideas by including youth in decision-making processes as part of our overall climate governance architecture. We will mobilize Nigerian youth towards planting 25 million trees to enhance Nigeria's carbon sink. Nigeria is presently diversifying its energy sources from dependence on gas-powered system to hydro, solar, wind, biomass, and nuclear sources. Specifically, Nigeria is progressively working to realize 30% energy efficiency and renewable energy mix by 2030.
He said apart from developing a shelter belt across 11 states through the Great Green Wall Initiative, a hydrocarbon pollution remediation program is also being implemented in Ogoni land towards recovering the carbon mix potential of the mangrove ecosystem.
I should also inform the summit that our government has introduced climate-smart agricultural practices to unlock 74 million tons of carbon dioxide per annum through relevant technologies, advocacy, and best practices.
On the Lake Chad Basin, which used to be a region of productivity, food security, and wealth for nearly 40 million people that now shrunk significantly due to climate change, President Buhari said Nigeria will continue to lead in efforts for solid partnerships that will ensure ecological restoration and recharge of the lake.
We are confident that this would improve the living conditions of diverse nationals living in the area, promote interstate cooperation, strengthen community resilience, as well as assist in addressing the environmental and security crises that threaten the region, its resources, and inhabitants.
The Nigerian leader described as gladdening that the Secretary General and some members of the United Nations are partnering Nigeria in this endeavor. From New York, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
After 2 months of recess, the Senate is scheduled to reconvene on Tuesday, the 24th of September 2019, with consideration of the 2020 appropriation bill expected to be the immediate engagement of the senators. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nko reports.
30th of July 2019 was the last plenary before the Senate embarked on its annual recess. It was the day it concluded the screening of ministerial nominees and confirmed them. Thereafter, the Senate announced the leadership of 69 standing committees, which positioned the new Senate for committee works, especially carrying out its oversight functions. When it reconvenes, the legislators will be expecting the 2020 appropriation bill from the presidency for consideration.
I have been informed that the executive has sent the request for the MTF to the National Assembly, to the Senate, and I'm sure that will be the first thing that we will do by the grace of God.
We are very certain and positive that before December, Nigerians will have the new budget.
And we also believe that in the process of the consideration, we will receive considerable report about the implementation of the 2019 Appropriation Act.
Following the announcement of leadership of standing committees, senators will now be assigned to various committees.
The committees will be inaugurated, and immediately they will hit the ground running.
The Senate is also expected to consider the request for confirmation of nominees for boards of parastatals and commissions. In Abuja, Ignatius Nko, NTA News.
Leadership of the House of Representatives is collaborating with the service chiefs to find ways of overcoming the recent spike in security breaches in the northeast and other parts of the country. National Assembly correspondent Laimi Ali reports that a meeting between the House of and the service chiefs lasted several hours.
House Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila, while addressing the meeting, said the present administration is deeply concerned about security of citizens, acknowledging that the military and other security agencies have over time been on top of the situation, but noted that incidences of security compromise appear to be on the increase. He said the meeting was for the House to hear how it can play a significant role in combating security challenges, especially through appropriations for such operations that will restore normalcy.
It's come at a time when the budget is about to be presented in the next week or two. So it's very timely. There are money challenges. What can the House do? And that's why we're here. And I believe it's important that security is one of the major concerns of this government. And we have an obligation to arrest the situation wherever and whenever we can.
Chief of Defense Staff General Abayomi Gabriel Olonishakin said there have been operational and tactical changes in tune with global best practices to tackle security breaches across the country.
We have achieved better integration of our land and air power, as well as greater coordination with other security and intelligence agencies through regular strategic meetings at the highest level of command and down to the chain of command. The SuperCam concept was born out of our need to re-strategize to meet changing operational conditions in the Northeast.
The meeting later went into closed door. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Borno State Governor Babagana Umara Zulum has launched a Borno job portal with a capacity to accommodate profiles of 2 million job seekers in the state. Mohammed Gwani now reports.
The Borno Job Bank portal, among the first of its kind in the country, is aimed at creating a database that will contain all necessary information about job seekers in the state, including educational and professional expertise. The database will be used to identify potentials for employment at the federal, state, local government and private sector levels, as well as create opportunities for capacity development and entrepreneurship. Governor Babagana Umara said the portal will address youth unemployment as contained in the 10-point development agenda of his administration.
But security challenges can only be holistically addressed if we have solutions to the high proportion of young men and women parading in our streets virtually doing nothing.
The governor directed the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation to work with Ministries of Education, Higher Education, Information and the Government House Press Unit towards creation of public internet access centers and e-libraries across the 27 local government areas to increase access for job seekers and enhance reading culture among students. Commissioner for Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Babagana Mustafa said, aside the issue of job creation, the database will also be used for government planning purposes and for sharing with vocational skills centers being built in different parts of the state. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
New office complex for the Federal Road Safety Commission has been inaugurated in Delta State for effective service delivery. Austin Edomodu has the report.
Before now, this has been the administrative and operational base of the Federal Road Safety Command in Delta State. Today, through the collaborative efforts of the Delta State government and the federal government, the command can now boast of a new complex.
The glory of God.
The state governor, Dr. Ifeanyi, expressed readiness to partner with the federal government in the rehabilitation of federal highways to ease the job of the command.
There is a need to have a planned approach to the reconstruction and rehabilitation of these roads. Because if we do not do so, because the roads are several years old, and if there's no planned intervention, we may become overwhelmed in the course of time.
The chairman of the Federal Road Safety Commission, Malam Bukari Bello, and Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Dr. Boboye Oyeyemi, said strategies will be sustained in reducing road carnage and improve road transportation across the country.
It gives a lot of conducive ambience and atmosphere, for the staff of the Corps to discharge their duties effectively.
Within the last 4 years now, we have 12 of these structures. 2 will be the inauguration train again. We have 2 more in addition to the 12. That's Uyo and Gombe. And we appreciate Mr. President for this.
Earlier, there was a guard of honor for the governor with the representatives for different security agencies on ground. I'm Austin Edemodo, NTA News.
There is a renewed hope in the revival of public schools in Kaduna State as Governor Nasir Ahmad El-Rufai enrolls his 6-year-old son, Abubakar Siddiq El-Rufai, in a public primary school. Muhammad Omar Ajingi reports.
It is a fresh school term, and Capture School, one of the oldest public schools in Kaduna Metropolis, has received a number of newcomers. Among them, 6-year-old Abubakar Siddiq El-Rufai, who is being enrolled in the school by his parents. He is spending the next 6 years taking foundational lessons with his new classmates who come from different strata of the society.
I'm sad because I miss my old school and some of my friends and my teachers, but I have to help my father to keep his promise.
The enrollment of Abubakar Siddiq El-Rufai in Capture School is in fulfillment of the governor's promise to send his children to public schools.
I went to a public school like this. In fact, the school I went is not even as good as this. But here I am because of the quality of teaching that I got. It is our intention in Kaduna State government to ensure that all our public schools offer quality education, and we are encouraging all our senior public servants to have their children in public schools.
I'm glad that we are able to help Malam Nasir El-Rufai in fulfilling this promise.
As young Abubakar Siddiq settles down in the class, it is expected that others in positions of responsibility will key in by enrolling their wards in public schools. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Umar Ajingi, NTA News.
Let's take you to Lagos, where Michael takes us through happenings at the Center of Excellence. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Kudu, and welcome to Lagos. The federal government says the partial closure of the land borders is one of the strategies designed to stimulate domestic production and create investment opportunities in readiness for the pressure of competition inherent in the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Adeniyi Adebayo, stated these at the 2019 Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry Presidential Policy Dialogue. Enriching the policy-making process to offer a directional path for investors and major industry players is the key mandate of this forum, which was inaugurated in 2016. The focus this time revolves around the recent increase in the value-added tax to 7.5%, multiple taxation, and the partial closure of land borders. While the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry is looking at critical issues that will stimulate the ease of doing business, its president is worried about certain policies that pose challenges to investment.
There are people who also import legitimately from ECOWAS into Nigeria. Are we going to shut ourselves against out of the ECOWAS? Are we going to close that door? It's still porous.
The Nigerian Ports Authority is rather looking at the positive side of government's policies, emphasizing that cargo diversion has necessitated the closure of land borders.
The closure of the land borders as it is now has provided us a window and clarity of the volumes with which items are smuggled into the country, and we look forward to having a good outcome from this closure that will enable us plan properly as a country.
The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment assured stakeholders that government is focused in addressing the key problem in the economy.
VAT is 7.5%. Government was not unmindful of the problems that would arise as a result of the increase, but government has took that into consideration when it was increasing it, and has removed certain items from being vatable.
The dialogue session offered the business community opportunities to raise questions on the Nigerians' automobile policy, Company and Allied Matters Act, and financing small and medium-scale enterprises. Against all odds, the Nigeria Customs Service Kirikiri Lighter Terminal Command has reiterated commitments to work assiduously to boost the nation's GDP through improved revenue generation. Dotun Ogunyemi reports that the command is set to achieve these by effectively utilizing the inland waterways to carry out its operations.
According to the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission, the Kirikiri Lighter Terminals 1 and 2 is valued at $130 million. However, its effective operation is being hampered by bad roads linking the terminal and the Lagos ports. Nike Oladuni is the area controller of the command. She confesses that getting to work on a daily basis can be quite hectic, but that has not affected the efficiency of the terminal's operations.
Badges from Apapa come on 2 particular days. You know, if we have a situation where badges come on daily basis, more cargoes can come in here. But it is not the business of customs to get badges to work. It is the business of the concessionaires who are the owners of the businesses.
At the heart of customs operations is revenue generation, and it is here at the command's processing center where all declarations are monitored. The center operates on an NICIS 2 level.
Try to recover as much revenue as we can and meet our targets as given to us and even surpass.
While navigating the roads to the terminal remains a challenge, the command is encouraging importers and exporters to use barges to move cargo from the ports to the Kirikiri terminal. In Lagos, Dotun Ogunyemi, NTA News.
That's a contribution from Lagos. Network News continues after the commercial break. Please stay tuned.
Golden accessories. I shot so bad.
Mommy, is it not too early to be dressed?
Too early, sure. I don't dey side bus since now.
Okay.
You think say I go miss all the small shop and all the rishi?
Mommy.
Shebi na that caterer when they comot dey get side mirror you take. And as for my women group, hey, na KSA or nothing at all. Hey.
Yes, now when you get mouth.
You're familiar, Jerry. My pikin.
Mommy, your credit still there, so?
Of course now. Now we the first credit like water. You not trust Glow?
Glow and Maple. Get 5 times your recharge to call all networks. Recharge with *555*PIN#.
You want to know where the party they shall let? Not here.
Glow Unlimited.
Darling, what's the matter? It's your birthday. Guests are already waiting at the pool.
It's headache, cold, pains all over my body.
Cold Time Anti-Cold Tablet contains powerful ingredients specially prepared to bring you fast relief from headache, body ache, cough, flu, cold, and fever. Baby, how are you feeling now?
Wow, I feel great thanks to Cold Time Tablet.
Cold Time Tablet also available in syrup for children. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor. Cold Time Anti-Cold Tablet, a quality product from Embassy Pharmaceutical and Chemicals Limited. Cold Time Anti-Cold Tablet, your visa to healthy.
To the outer framers, the hat tippers, the fringe goers, you don't need to hide anymore. Try Dettol Even Tone. It cleans and helps to reduce the appearance of blemishes caused by oil, dirt, and germs, giving your skin a healthy feel for an even better you.
Introducing the new Dettol Even Tone Pink Glow. Healthy skin feel for an even better you.
Helen!
Hey, where's your mom?
Today is her toilet day.
What?
Helen!
Toilet day? Tomorrow you're hosting a party and it's a matter of my reputation.
Even if you spend your entire day cleaning with all this, it still won't be party ready.
Impossible!
Challenge? New Ticker Harpic 10X. Even if you use this solution 10 times, it won't give you the same cleaning like Harpic. Its new Ticker formulation sticks to the bowl better, removes old stains, and gives you a sparkling clean toilet.
Wow!
New Harpic 10X
gives me the freedom from toilet day.
New Harpic 10X for 10 times better cleaning.
Hey, you! And are you how to talk to? I sabi you now. It's in your mind, Abi. The person with them go help us. Baba Toros and Shangalo. Oga Legova, Mr. Sabi. And you know if we carry last for this one.
A spear into the top corner.
We Sabi say Peking will crawl before in waka. So don't look, no help anybody. No dolly, no. So go for it. Go for football. Go for all Serie A and La Liga matches live. Go for GoTV Max.
Welcome back. Investors lose 20.16 billion naira as the Nigerian Stock Exchange All-Share Index dips. Amina Najem is here in the studio to give us details on business news. Welcome, Amina.
Thank you. While the debate on new tax regime continues, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, says the plan to increase value-added tax from 5% to 7.5% is in the right direction to raise the country's revenue. Following this development, some Nigerians say it should not be about paying more, rather about how such funds are utilized. The Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria have also reacted on this topic.
Yeah, the CITM position has always been that we need to actually focus on indirect tax. And talking about indirect tax, we are now talking about VAT. And VAT has to do with consumption. The emphasis by CITN is the fact that we need to reduce the impact of direct tax so that people will have more disposable income. Now, in relation to the judicious use of tax revenue, this has always been a concern. And I can assure you that the recent development, mostly at even state and federal level, shows that there is now an emphasis on tax. It has become a basis for addressing corruption.
Meanwhile, the equities market saw investors lose 20.16 billion naira as NSE dips by 0.15% to open the week negative. The all-share index stood at 27,657.27 basis point. This is against a 0.19% appreciation recorded on Friday. Its year-to-date return stands at minus 1.2%. At the end of the day session, 109.5 million worth of shares were traded in 3,382 deals valued at 888.1 million naira. BNH, Transco and Access were the most active to boost market turnover. And from the global scene comes the news that popular British tour operator Thomas Cook has collapsed, leaving hundreds and thousands of travelers stranded. The company said its effort to seek financial rescue has failed, leaving no option other than to enter into compulsory liquidation. UK's Civil Aviation Authority has, however, commenced repatriation of stranded travelers. Hundreds and thousands of travelers have been left stranded as popular British tour operator Thomas Cook collapsed Sunday night. The development puts 21,000 jobs at risk. And for more on network news, we now join Sadia Omar Digi for more on network news.
Good evening and welcome to Sokoto. 30 people held hostage by suspected armed bandits in Zamfara State for 7 months have regained freedom. The released captives include a nursing mother who put to bed at the bandits' camp. Salamatu Umar Abdullahi reports.
The nursing mother and 30 people were released to the Zamfara State government by the bandits on Sunday, the 22nd of September. The wife of the Zamfara State Governor Haji Bilkisu Bello, who was represented by her personal secretary Samira Baffa, received her and those released at the General Hospital Gusau, where she presented some gifts to the mother. She said the assistance became necessary to ease the nursing mother's sufferings as she put to bed at the bandits' camp. She said Governor Bello Muhammad promised to make sure all the people of Zamfara that were kidnapped by bandits were returned home safely. While expressing her appreciation to the governor's wife for the gifts, the nursing mother said she was 2 months pregnant when they took her in her matrimonial home. Other captives also said they have been in the bandits' camp for 8 months. The special advisor on security matters to the governor, Malam Abubakar Muhammad Dauran, said he received the released captives between the borders of Niger, Nigeria and Cameroon, and this is the last batch in that camp. From Gusau, Salamatu Umar Abdullahi, NTA News.
Now, free and compulsory screening will pave way for the national policy on the fight against HIV and AIDS virus, which says by 2030, 90% of Nigeria's population should know their HIV status. Correspondent examines HIV and AIDS current prevalence rates in Sokoto State. The report.
HIV and AIDS viral infection in Sokoto State has reduced significantly due to sensitization and collaboration with relevant stakeholders in the fight against the infection. According to National HIV Impact Survey 2018, Sokoto is second to the lowest in the Northwest with 0.4%. The state has 13 comprehensive HIV and AIDS sites spread across the state that provides full package support from testing, counseling, antiretroviral drugs, mother-to-child protection care, and fight against stigma, among others. There are also small feeder sites that support and link newly tested and confirmed HIV and AIDS patients.
By 2020, which is just around the corner, 90% of the general population knows their HIV status. 90% has access to antiretroviral or HIV services. 90% has viral separation.
Although Sokoto State government has passed into law the anti-stigma bill for patients living with the virus in their places of work, markets, schools, privately owned organizations, and civil society organizations, there is the need to step up campaign and enlightenment of especially the health workers who come in contact with the patients first. Currently, Sokoto State has approximately 10,000 persons living with the virus, with about 8,000 to 9,000 on antiretroviral drugs.
That's it from Sokoto. It's now back to Muhammad in Abuja.
Thank you, Halima Digi. The Federal Inland Revenue Service, FRC, has debunked a publication of the Timmy Frank, the former Deputy National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressive Congress, APC, who claimed that the FRC supported the APC through the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, with a phantom 90 billion naira. A statement by the FRC says the entire allegation is malicious and a calculated attempt to smear the image of the service under the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. The statement noted that the integrity of the service as a responsible and accountable organization is not in doubt. The FRC adds that in the last 4 years since Mr. Tunde Fowler supervised operations at the FRC, the service had not received up to 100 billion naira per annum. The service has not received up to 100 billion naira per annum as a cost of collection from the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee. It further indicates that the FRC is a creation of the statute and its activities are governed by the laws of the Federation and the Federal Republic of Nigeria and financial regulation, and it is not possible that its funds could be expended in such a cavalier manner as suggested by Mr. Timmy Frank. The FRC therefore advised the public to ignore the claims by Mr. Timmy Frank with the ignominy it deserves, as the former Deputy National Publicity Secretary of the APC is seeking for cheap popularity and relevance. The FRC therefore demands an apology from Mr. Timmy Frank and a well-publicized public apology in 3 major leading Nigerian newspapers within the next 24 hours, or may be forced to pursue claims for aggravated damages in libel and injurious falsehood against Mr. Timmy Frank. Benin is where we go now, where Ugo Chukwuka is standing by to give us more updates from that zone. Hello, Ugo Chukwuka.
Welcome to Benin. Edo State government is adopting a reformist agenda in transforming the state's healthcare sector using the Edo Primary Healthcare Improvement Program, Edo HIP, as its driving point. This was revealed by Governor Godwin Obaseki at an interactive session with key players in healthcare. Goodluck Naini reports that they agreed that upholding orderliness in the sector will make the process successful.
Putting in place a workable health system that will enable Edo citizens access quality health care delivery is paramount to the Obaseki-led administration. And to achieve this, the state government established 20 primary health care centers across the 18 local government areas as pilot scheme to enable it study the functionality of the outcome, which will help to drive a holistic process. Months after, the state government is taking stock to enable it determine the roadmap towards a successful health venture. This is why the governor is meeting with relevant stakeholders.
The world is now driven by data, big data. So the system we used to run in the past, where things were isolated, cannot work as we go into the future. It's regulation. You've talked about quality as one major issue. So we should focus resources on that.
We need real-time data to drive our activities, to drive our intervention.
If there are more avenue for interactions, it will go a long way, to help to improve the health sector in the state.
It is expected that soonest Edo State will realize its dream of becoming a destination for medical tourism. In Benin, Goodluck Naini, NT News.
About 100 farmers undergoing training on plantain and pineapple farming and productions have been charged to deploy the skills acquired in transforming themselves into industrial-scale farmers. Facilitators of the training gave the council at the two-day workshop by Agricultural Development Program, ADP Benin, and National Horticultural Research Institute, Ibadan. Steve Lonai has the report.
Towards boosting food production and security, as well as engaging the youth in productive ventures, Edo State Agricultural Development Program partners NIHOT Ibadan to train prospective farmers in skills that will help them incorporate recent scientific advances and technology in their farming operations.
NIHOT wishes to draw the attention of the stakeholders and participants present to the potential of plantain, banana and pineapple for sustainable livelihood and national economic development.
Edo State Commissioner for Agriculture urged the trainees to apply themselves to the program and get the maximum benefits.
For the state to have the socio-economic development, it is very important that the human capital is developed as well.
I've learned a lot in this program, how to maximize the available plantain suckers and pineapple suckers you have, and how to avoid wastage of land.
The 2 days training workshop ends on Tuesday, the 25th of September. In Benin, Steve Lonai, Mwaokolo, NTA News.
Network News continues in Abuja as we rejoin Kudu.
Thank you, Ugochukuka. 36 cows were on Saturday allegedly struck dead by thunder on top of a secured mountain at Ijare town in Ifedore local government area of Ondo State. The cows were said to be grazing on the hill known as Okewawa when the incident occurred. Correspondent Olajide Bello reports that the traditional ruler of the town said the incident, which claimed no human life, was an act of God. The Olujare of Ijare, represented by Chief Wemimo Olaniron, said the community woke up Sunday morning to see 36 cows on the secured mountain. Time for another break. We'll be back with more news.
The Ariel Assurance Challenge.
Oh, thank you. But what assurance can you give our daughter?
Everything. With the new look Ariel, I can even do the laundry.
Prove it then.
Okay. Let's make this stain even tougher. Now, let's wash the cloth. With your detergent and with new look Ariel. Do you believe me now?
Ariel, now in a new look pack.
Everybody dance now.
What?
Louder. We are the strongest. No challenge can stop us. So Lord, and we are the brightest. No darkness can blind us. We are the strongest.
Malta Guinness is packed with B vitamins to fuel your greatness. Hey, you!
The Nigerian Office for Trade Negotiations has announced the death of its Director General, Ambassador Chedu Osakwe. He was Nigeria's chief trade negotiator. President Muhammadu Buhari has condoled with the family and the Director General of the Nigerian Office for Trade Negotiations. In a statement signed by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, President Buhari notes that the intellectual depth, fervor, and sense of patriotism that Ambassador Osakwe handled responsibilities will be sorely missed. The President notes that the frontline and historical role of chairing the negotiating forum of the African Union from June 2017 to March 2018, during which time the negotiations were concluded on the agreement establishing the African Continental Free Trade Area, was worthy of note. President Buhari praised that Almighty God will receive the soul of the cerebral diplomat, scholar, and administrator and comfort his family. The death has also been announced of Hajia Maimuna Aliyu, the wife of the late Sarkin Damo Aliyu Zazo Emir Council, Kaduna State, who died at the age of 85. Hajia Maimuna, who passed on Sunday, the 22nd of September 2019, is survived by 5 children, and 78 grandchildren, among whom is Dr. Abdullahi Aliyu, former Director General, Raw Materials Research and Development Council, and a former Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Power. Haja Maimuna Aliyu has since been buried according to Islamic injunctions. A statement by Dr. Abdullah Aliyu on behalf of the family indicates that the third Fidda'u prayer for the deceased takes place on Wednesday, the 25th of September 2019 at Dr. Aliyu's residence, number 12, Turkey Street, former Onitsha Street, here in 11, Gariki, Abuja. That concludes NTA Network News for tonight. Thank you for watching. Good night.